Hey everyone, it's Phil Frost from Main Street ROI, and we'll welcome you to today's presentation about the 10 costly Google AdWords mistakes to avoid. It's 1 minute past the hour. I wanted to give everyone a chance to log in. We have a lot to cover, so I want to dive right in here. And first I want to thank the Day Spa Association for organizing this presentation. And we do have some housekeeping to get out of the way first. If you have any questions as we're going through this presentation, you can post them to the Q&A box or the questions box. It should be in the upper right-hand corner of your screen. I always recommend you turn off distractions like your cell phone, email, and definitely log out of any social media. You'll get the most out of these presentations with with your full attention and not also checking email or social media. And to get started, I do have a poll here just to gauge who is currently on today's webinar. So you should see a poll on your screen with the question, are you currently advertising with Google AdWords? And I do see some folks are already answering that question. There's just two options. You can select yes or no. I'll leave that up for just 5 more seconds. All right, I'm going to close that down. I see we've got about 33% are currently advertising, and about 2/3 are not already advertising. And the next question here is just to gauge the size of those accounts for all the folks who are advertising, or if you're not yet advertising but you are considering it, looking to get a better understanding about the size of the ad account. So you should see a question on your screen, what's your current or anticipated monthly ad spend? I see some folks answering that. We've got some folks saying 1,000 to 5,000 a month. Some folks are saying less than 1,000. That's typically the range that we see attending our trainings. Okay, I'm going to close that down. And this will be the last poll here, just getting an understanding of whether you're managing those ads in-house or if you're using an agency, or if you are in fact an agency or a consultant yourself. We do have a lot of agencies and consultants who attend our trainings. And it looks like so far everyone is managing in-house. I don't want to spend too much time on this. It's always good to get a feel for who's on the line and get a sense for how big your budgets are, how big the accounts are, and if you're actually managing in-house. All right, with that out of the way, let's dive in. Here's what we're going to cover. We're going to obviously go through the 10 common AdWords mistakes, but I'm not just going to list the mistakes, I'll also explain how to avoid those mistakes. That's most important. I do have a special gift for everyone attending, and we'll have live Q&A at the end. Now, if this is your first webinar that you've attended from Main Street ROI, you're probably wondering, who am I and why should you listen to me? Well, again, my name is Phil Frost. I'm the founder of Main Street ROI, and our business provides digital marketing training like this webinar today, and we also provide services. So we provide the digital advertising setup and management for clients. To date, we've helped over 2,000 businesses with their online marketing, and my thought leadership in this industry has been featured in Forbes, Inc., Amex, as well as Mashable. And I'm also the proud father of these cute kids here. That's my daughter Violet on the left. She's going to be 4 in January. That's me in the middle. That's Emmett on the right. He's over 1.5 years old now. He'll be 2 next April. And that's my beautiful wife, Erin. And this picture was taken on the Upper West Side of New York City, actually on my my son's first birthday. All right, let's dive into the 10 AdWords mistakes to avoid. So mistake number 1 is targeting both the search network and the display network. And why is this a costly mistake? Well, this is a really important takeaway if you're not familiar with the difference between search and display. So when you think of Google AdWords, most people think of search advertising. That's where people are going to google.com and they're literally searching for your product or your service. So that's the search network, people searching in Google. Then there's also the display network. And that's the millions of websites out there that are showing Google ads on their website in order to make money. And as advertisers, we have the option to display our ads on some of those sites across Google's display network to try to attract our ideal customers. So with the search network, people are literally searching for your product or service. And with the display network, they're obviously not searching. They're just surfing around online, reading about something related, let's say, to spa treatments. And your ad is actually interrupting what they're doing. So that's why it's called interruption marketing versus search advertising, where you're really spoon-feeding someone exactly what they're looking for. So with that in mind, there's obviously a huge difference between those two networks and the approach you need to take for those two networks. So with search, you're just giving them exactly what they want, and with this display, you need to set up the account differently for targeting, and also you'll likely need different ad copy to capture the attention of people who are just surfing online. So again, each network is going to require different targeting and different ads. And the warning here is that Google actually encourages advertisers to target both networks in a single campaign. I don't know why they do that. It's unfortunate, but this is a common mistake with new advertisers. They'll set up an account that's targeting both search and display without even really knowing that they're doing that. You'll think, a lot of times businesses will think that they're only targeting people searching when in fact a lot of their ad budget is being used on the display network. The solution here, fairly simple. You want to create unique campaigns for your search ads, and if you want to target the display network, you want to set up unique campaigns that specifically only target display. Now in practice, that means you'll select campaigns that use the search network only. Or if you want to target display, you'll target the display network only. And I recommend you stay away from targeting both at the same time, even this option called Search Network with Display Select. And that is something you'll see when you're setting up an account. Google might even recommend this as the ideal targeting option, and that's actually not the case. You want to target those networks separately. All right, mistake number 2 is using the wrong keyword match types. And there's a warning here because, again, this is another common mistake, because Google will default all of your keywords to what's called broad match. And if you're not familiar with the match types, I'll give you an example of how these work. So here's how we think advertising should work in Google AdWords. Most of us think in terms of exact match. An exact match, in this example, we're going to say the keyword is NYC Day Spa. So somebody's searching for a New York City day spa. When that happens, you'll show when someone searches NYC Day Spa. So that's pretty straightforward. That's called exact match. Now there's also something called phrase match. And the way to tell Google that that's phrase match is that you put your keyword in quotes. And it's the same keyword, NYC Day Spa, but now it's phrase match. And your ads will show when that phrase is in the keyword. So if someone is searching best NYC Day Spa, your ad will show. if you were using exact match, your ad would not show for that search term because it's not exactly what the keyword is. But it will show for phrase match because that phrase NYC Day Spa is in that search phrase. Next is broad match. And again, it's the exact same keyword, NYC Day Spa, but now we're telling Google, I don't want it to be exact match, I don't want it to be phrase match, I want it to be broad match. And the problem with that is your ads would actually show for anything related to NYC Day Spa, and NYC Spa license is related. So someone looking to open a day spa might type in NYC Spa license, just doing some research on what type of license they would need. Obviously not a prospect. It's not someone looking for a day spa, not someone looking for spa services or products. It's just it's actually a competitor looking to open another day spa. So you're just going to waste money showing your ads for that keyword. So that's broad match. I don't recommend it. I recommend you stick with exact and phrase match. So the solution, I basically gave that away. It's to use phrase match and exact match. And I say first because you can use a type of broad match, which is called modified broad match. That gets a little bit technical. It's more advanced in terms of the tactics for Google AdWords. If anyone is interested, just type a question in the Q&A box. I can certainly elaborate on that. But for most businesses, I recommend you start with phrase and exact. And even if you're using phrase match, and definitely if you're using broad or modified broad, you must use what are called negative keywords. And if you're wondering what the heck those are, that is mistake number 3. So we're going to now dive into what negative keywords are and why that's a mistake to not have negative keywords. All right, so negative keywords are what you use in your account to tell Google, I do not want my ads to show when that phrase or that word is in the search. So the example here, we'll stick with NYC Spa license as an example. You likely don't want to advertise when someone is searching with the word license in there. So when you add a negative keyword like license, you're telling Google, do not show my ads when someone uses a keyword that includes that word license. An example there again would be NYC Spa license. Your ad would not show, so you are preventing people from seeing your ads and clicking on your ads because that would just be a waste of money. So the solution here, before you launch a campaign, you always want to brainstorm what I call the obvious negative keywords. And to do that, you want to look at the keywords that you are targeting. Let's say day spa nearby, NYC day spa, best day spa in NYC. So all the keyword variations that you find. Next, think about. It's really the question is, what could go wrong? So what could someone be searching for with my keywords, but it wouldn't actually be your ideal customer? And I already gave an example of someone, a competitor was doing research on day spa licenses. That would be what I call an obvious negative keyword to add. All right, the next way to think about negative keywords is once your ads are running. So you want to brainstorm obvious negative keywords before you launch your ads, and then after you launch your ads, there's a report in AdWords that will actually give you insight into exactly what people are searching that triggered your ads. And it's called the Search Terms Report. It's really a gold mine for figuring out what should you use for negative keywords. So you go to the Search Terms Report in your account, you review what the phrases were that triggered your ads, and you just find any of those phrases or words that are irrelevant for your particular business. All right, mistake number 4 is not segmenting by device. And this is becoming more and more important. If you're not already aware of the trend, mobile device usage has actually overtaken desktop device usage. So more people are using mobile devices to access the internet and use Google than they are with their desktop devices. And the problem here, it's another warning, that Google's going to target all devices by default. They're going to target mobile, desktop, and tablets by default. So if you just set up an account very quickly and turn your ads on, you're going to show to all 3 devices. The problem with that is that prospects behave drastically differently on each device. And if you think about your own personal use, for me, I'll do a lot more research on my phone. So I might be in line at the grocery store. I'll do some research on my phone quickly, but I won't really be in a buying mode because I'm just doing some quick research. And then I'll sit down at my desk and use my desktop computer to actually make the purchase or take action. And that can happen across a lot of different markets where the buying decision is not made on a mobile device. It's more of a research. Now that's not the rule across all industries, but you do want to keep that in mind, that prospects behave differently on each device. And the other issue here is that many websites, and I'm sure a lot of folks on the line have this issue, many websites are not mobile friendly or what's called mobile optimized. And if you go to your site on a mobile device, you'll know if it's mobile friendly because it will actually change the layout and the design so that it all fits and looks nice on a mobile device and is very easy to navigate with your thumb. And if it's not mobile friendly, it'll just be the same exact design, just scrunched down onto a smaller screen, which makes it extremely hard to navigate and use that site. Now, if you're not sure and you don't want to, you just don't even know, what you're looking for, Google actually has a free tool. It's google.com/webmasters/tools/mobile-friendly. And you just copy and paste your website URL or domain name into that tool and click, I think it's search or analyze. That tool will tell you right away whether or not your site is in fact mobile friendly. And if it's not, but also for search engine optimization, there's going to be an update very soon in early 2017. Google's actually going to have what's called a mobile first index. So this is somewhat off topic, but a good heads up for everyone attending that SEO is going to change very soon, and Google is going to use your mobile site to rank your website in the search results. All right, so what's the solution? Unless your website is mobile friendly, I recommend you block mobile device targeting. And what you do is you actually tell, it's called a bid modifier. It's in the account under settings, and then devices. You can tell Google to modify your bid for mobile devices to -100%. And that just basically makes your bid 0 so that your ads will not be displayed to mobile devices. I'm not saying you should not target mobile, especially in the day spa industry. I do recommend you target mobile, but you do need to have a mobile-friendly website. And next would be to, this is taking it a step further, and not only having a mobile responsive or mobile optimized site, you want to have a unique page, so a mobile-friendly landing page for your ads, and possibly even different calls to action on that page. For example, your desktop page might have a form that you want people to fill out and maybe schedule an appointment, whereas the mobile landing page, the call to action might be to call, since they're literally on a phone, and it's easier to call than it would be to fill out a form. All right, mistake number 5 is targeting the wrong keywords. And this is a costly mistake that it's very common, and I want to take a step back and just explain that there are 2 distinct types of keywords that you can target in your ad campaign. The first one here is what's called research intent keywords. These are keywords where the person is most likely just doing research on a topic. For example, your spa might have some facial treatments or acne facial treatments, and the word, having the word treatment in there implies that somebody's looking for a service or obviously a treatment. Whereas if that word is not in there and someone is just looking for, how to clean your face to avoid breakouts. So something very simple like that, but that obviously doesn't imply that they're looking for a day spa. They're not looking for an actual treatment. They're just doing research. Versus buying intent, this is the other type of keyword where they are actually looking for a treatment or a service or a particular product that you might sell at your day spa. And when you launch your campaign, you need to be very careful about which keywords you're targeting, because if you are targeting a lot of research keywords, a lot of times those have a lot of search volume, so more people are searching them, and that will really eat up your budget, and you're likely wasting a lot of your ad budget on those research keywords where people aren't really looking for a day spa, and you don't have a lot of budget left for those buying intent keywords where people are literally looking to schedule an appointment with a day spa. So the solution here is to ask yourself, what else could someone be searching for when using this keyword? So it's similar to what you want to ask yourself when you're brainstorming negative keywords. You also want to do this when you're looking at the keywords that you're targeting to make sure it is in fact a buying intent keyword. Another shortcut is to review what are called the organic results. Those are the natural results in Google, not the advertisers. And Google does a good job with their algorithm of figuring out what people are looking for. So if you're seeing in the search results for a particular keyword that a lot of the search results are long informational articles, then that tells you that Google has figured out most people are looking, they're probably doing research when they search that keyword. So that's kind of a good check as well. Just do a quick search and look at the organic results. And then ideally you want to focus at least initially, on the buying intent keywords. That'll give you the best chances for success and set you up for success when you launch your campaign using only those buying intent keywords. All right, mistake number 6 is missing keywords in your ad copy. So why is this a costly mistake? There's 2 points. First, Google will actually bold the keywords in your ad copy, and that helps make your ads stand out. And next, prospects want to see exactly what they're searching for. So if you remember when I was explaining the difference between search and display, I'm really focused here on the search network, and people are literally searching a particular keyword and looking for a solution. If you match your ad copy to what they're searching, you're giving them exactly what they want to see. And that's going to lead to higher what's called click-through rates, so more people will click on your ads. Higher click-through rates lead to higher quality scores. And higher quality scores will lead to reduced cost per click. And if you're not familiar with quality score, that's Google's basically grade for your ad campaign, and they grade the keywords and the ads, and they give them what's called this quality score. It's a score from 0 to 10, 10 being the best quality score. And the biggest factor in quality score is your click-through rate. So if more people are clicking on your ads than your competitors' ads, you will have a higher quality score. And Google basically gives you preferential treatment. They'll give you better ad placement, and they reduce the amount of money that you have to pay per click versus your competitors. So they basically reward you for writing really compelling ads. To do this, it actually comes down to how you structure your ad account. And you want to group similar keyword phrases into what are called ad groups. And when you are setting up your account, you have the option to create multiple ad groups in a given campaign. And in each ad group, you'll have a group of keywords, and you'll have ads that will display for those keywords. So what you want to do is put similar keyword phrases into their own ad groups, and that way you can match the ad copy very specifically to those keywords. So match the keyword phrase in your ad copy. And then ultimately it comes down to testing. You want to continually be testing new ads in each ad group to increase your click-through rate, or CTR. Because again, that will lead to higher quality scores, which ultimately leads to lower ad costs and better ad positioning. All right, mistake number 7 is a landing page. Your landing page is not congruent. So when you write an ad, you're likely going to make a promise in that ad. You might be saying that you're running some kind of, let's say, holiday promotion for your day spa, and let's say it's new clients that come in to your day spa in November will get 20% off their first treatment. So something like that. That's the promise you're making to your prospects. The biggest mistake you can make is then making that promise and then sending that person to your homepage that doesn't actually say that new clients will get 20% off their first treatment. So that's what I mean by having a congruent message from the ad copy to the landing page. So a lot of businesses will set up these ads. They'll actually set them up correctly and have a pretty compelling ad, but then they'll send that traffic to their homepage that basically breaks that promise that they're making in the ad. You're obviously going to lose sales. People will click on those ads. They'll be very excited. They'll get to a page that doesn't match the ad they just clicked on, so it's not congruent, and they'll be basically disappointed and maybe confused, and then they'll just click the back button and go to one of the competitors. So that's last bullet there is just exactly what I said. If you're promising a discount in the ad but not clearly showing that discount on the landing page, that's a very common mistake that we see when we audit ad accounts. So again, the solution here starts by organizing your keywords into ad groups. So each ad is going to then match the keywords in that ad group, and then you want to have a landing page that matches that ad. So ideally, you have congruence from keyword, so what that person was searching, to the ad copy, so the ad copy matches what they were searching, and then the landing page matches what you just promised in the ad. Okay, mistake number 8 is no compelling offer. This should be fairly obvious, but again, we review a lot of ad accounts, and we'll find that that the ad is just not very compelling. There's no compelling offer, and when you look at the competitors and what they're saying in their ads, it's just very obvious why people are clicking on the competitor ads versus their ads. So just step into your prospect's shoes, do the search for the keywords that you're targeting, and just look at all of the different ads that are displaying in Google, and just think about it from the prospect's perspective, and choose which one you think is the most compelling, and that's likely what your prospects are doing as well. And the reality is, if you don't have a very compelling offer that will get people to click, they're going to click on your competitors, and if they have the higher click-through rate, they're going to get the higher quality score, and they're going to end up with the better ad position and paying less. So again, look at the advertisers. Which one's making the strongest offer or has the most compelling ad copy? And it should be fairly obvious which one's going to get the most clicks. So the solution here sounds simple. You just need to have a better offer than your competitors, but in practice, that's not so simple. And it doesn't mean you have to compete on price. Most people think, oh, I just need to have a bigger discount than what my competitors are doing. If they're saying 20% off, I'll say 30% off. It doesn't really work that way, and you don't have to be the one discounting the most to make this work. You can also just offer additional products or services as bonuses. You could use a stronger guarantee than your competitors, or you could just simply emphasize a different benefit. So again, this would be not even messing around with the discount that you're offering. Just take a different angle and try to strike a chord with that person that's searching, so that your ad just resonates more with your target audience. All right, mistake number 9 is missing ad extensions. And the reality here, Google introduced ad extensions a while ago, and they continually add new ones. And I'll actually show you a brand new one on the next slide. And what they've proven, the reason that they introduced these and the reason why they recommend them so strongly, ads with ad extensions just get a higher click-through rate. That Google's in the business to make the most money possible with the ad campaign. So what they're doing, they're always testing different features that they can use in the ad platform, and they really push advertisers to use those features that get them the highest click-through rate, because that's ultimately how Google makes the most money. So ads are pushed so heavily by Google. Ad extensions are because they get the higher click-through rates. And you already know this, that's the next bullet. With this one, ad extensions are actually included in when they determine your quality score. And you already know this, that higher click-through rate and a higher quality score is going to lead to lower costs. So the solution is just to create all of the appropriate ad extensions for your business. Site links are your ad copy. So a traditional ad will have a headline and some body copy, and then below that you can add additional links which are called site links. A location extension will literally list your address, and that's a great option for a day spa, because when people are searching, they'll likely want to factor in where you're actually located. A call extension is simply listing your phone number on the ad. Highly recommend that for a day spa if you have somebody who can accept those calls and schedule those appointments. A call-out extension is, the way I think about those is it's basically adding bullet points. So again, a traditional basic ad just has your headline and your body copy, and then below that you can have what are called call-outs, which are bullet points, and that could be another opportunity to say, let's say 20% off first-time treatments. So you could emphasize some kind of promotion there. You could emphasize maybe you've won an award, so awarded number one day spa in New York City. You could put that as a call out. It's just another opportunity to list your benefits and why someone should choose you. Okay, structured snippets is another ad extension. The way you can think about this is it's a list, and I would use this to list your different services or maybe product lines that you offer. A review extension is another great feature, and if you've been featured in any press or maybe you won an award, again, for, let's say, #1 day spa in Philadelphia or New York City, if that was a real award from a third party, you could then list that in your ad as a review extension. So then underneath your ad, it would list whatever that review was. You can even use the Better Business Bureau. If you have an A rating on the BBB, you can say, A-rated day spa by the Better Business Bureau. And here's the brand new extension. It's called a message extension, and I put in the parentheses SMS because it's a text message. And I think this is a great feature for day spas if you have the capability to have someone receive text messages. And it basically is just a message underneath the ad that says, it could be questions, got questions, ? Text us today, and people can click on that on their mobile phone, and it would open up their text message program, and it would pre-populate that text with a message. So it would then send a text message to your team, whoever has that cell phone, and they would get that message, and it might be, you know, I have questions about your services. You could use that however you want. It could be for questions. It could be to schedule an appointment. So it could just be, you know, want to schedule an appointment, question mark, text us here. And that would then send a text message to your team. Okay, the 10th and final mistake is not setting up conversion tracking. And Peter Drucker famously said, if you can't measure it, you can't manage it. And that is definitely true with Google AdWords. If you're not monitoring the phone calls that you're getting, the leads that you're getting, and ultimately the sales that you're getting from AdWords, there's no way for you to manage your campaign. So ultimately, tracking is going to reveal what's working in your ad account so that you can reinvest. You'll see which ad copy is working best. You'll see which keywords are working best. And then you'll want to allocate more of your budget to what is in fact working. And equally important, you'll find out what's not working so you can trim the fat. And by that I mean you might find that a particular keyword sounded good when you were doing your research, but for whatever reason, that keyword gets a lot of clicks, but doesn't actually drive any leads, any phone calls or web form leads. Or you might find it gets clicks and drives leads, but those leads are just really low quality and they don't turn out to be actual paying customers. So the solution here is to, before you launch any ad campaign, and if you already have some running, I recommend you pause them and make sure you get your conversion tracking set up before you turn them on again. You want to make sure you have web form tracking, and that will track any of the forms on your website. For example, you might have a contact us form. There might be a form to get a coupon or a form to schedule an appointment. If you have any type of e-commerce functionality, maybe you sell products on your website, you want to make sure you have e-commerce revenue tracking. If you take phone calls, which I imagine everyone does, you want to have phone call tracking set up. There's also a phone number that can be listed in your ad, and that's called a call extension, which we talked about before. You want to make sure you're tracking those phone calls as well. Those are your ad phone calls. And if you are driving traffic to your website and then they're completing a web form, you can use what's called offline sales imports. So the example here would be, let's just keep it simple and say you're driving people to a form on your site to schedule an appointment. So they complete a form and then they schedule an appointment, and then from there X% actually show up to that appointment and pay you money. So not everyone that completes that form is a paying customer. What you can do is track those people that fill out the form and then track them all the way through to a paying customer, and you can then import those paying customers back into Google AdWords, and that's an offline sales import conversion, and Google AdWords will match those guys back to the ads and the keywords that they clicked on. So it's a more advanced tracking tactic, but we've used this with clients, and it's really invaluable information to use to figure out what is in fact working, what's really driving sales and revenue for your business from the ad campaign. All right, here's a quick recap. We talked about targeting search and display and how you should only target one at a time in a particular campaign. Talked about using the wrong keyword match types. More specifically, you want to avoid using broad match. Talked about the mistake of missing negative keywords. The mistake of not segmenting by device. targeting the wrong keywords, and for example, targeting research intent keywords rather than buying intent keywords, not having the keywords in your ad copy, not having a congruent landing page, not having a compelling offer, missing the relevant ad extensions, and not setting up conversion tracking. Before we get to the live Q&A, I do want to give you your free gift for attending. Sorry, your gift for attending. And this is actually going to be a special AdWords bundle, and it's 2 step-by-step 90-minute video training courses. We provide these training courses. You can actually go to the training section of our site, and you'll see that they are sold for $97. This first one is how to set up a profitable AdWords campaign. And the second one is how to optimize Google AdWords campaigns. So that's how to optimize, how to manage a campaign and optimize to get the best performance out of your AdWords campaign. And this bundle also includes an AdWords campaign audit, which again we sell on our site for $300. So the total value of this bundle is $494. And for attending today, you'll get everything for only $97. And here's where you can go. You can go to mainstreetroi.com/AdWords. And again, you can get the AdWords bundle, which is 2 step-by-step 90-minute training video courses. You'll learn how to set up a AdWords campaign, where I literally go through every step that our ad analysts go through for our clients when setting up a ad campaign. And then you'll also get the how to optimize Google AdWords campaigns training. And those are the steps that our analysts go through when optimizing a campaign for our clients. And then finally, you'll get an AdWords campaign audit. So once you have a campaign set up, our team will go in and audit that campaign, show you what is set up correctly and areas to improve. And that total value is $494. You'll get all of that for only $97. Now, if you're not interested in training, I do want to offer you a free AdWords consultation. And if you are interested in that, I'll just show you a poll that you can click yes to. So on your screen, you should see a poll. It says, would you like a free Google AdWords consultation? The options are yes if you want one, no if you don't, or if you just want to talk to someone first, you can select maybe I'd like to talk to someone first. All right, I'll leave that up for just 5 more seconds. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. All right, let me close that down. And we'll open it up to Q&A. So you can see on the screen the link to that AdWords bundle is in the upper left corner of your screen. The attendee gift, mainstreetroi.com/AdWords. This is mainly a reminder for me to ask everyone who attended to complete the survey at the end. When I close out the webinar, you should get automatically redirected to a survey. It's a very brief survey just to get your feedback on the presentation. There's also a question for topics that you'd like to learn about in the future, and that is really good timing if you want to provide some topics, because we are planning next year's calendar for our trainings, and we'll be using that to plan. We gauge the feedback based on the responses to these surveys. So again, if you have any questions, there's a questions box in the upper right-hand corner. It should literally be called questions, and there's a box where you just type in your question, click send. I think it just goes to me, so don't worry about asking anything that you don't want anyone else to see. No one else should see it, and I'll get those questions, and I'll address them as they come in. If no one has any questions, then I'll shut it down in just a minute here. Let me grab a drink of water. I don't see any questions. So again, I'll be shutting down the webinar, and you should get automatically redirected to a very brief survey. Would really appreciate it if you complete that. It should only take you like 2 minutes to fill that out. All right, everyone. Hope you enjoy the rest of your Wednesday. And if we don't talk before next Thursday, have a happy and healthy Thanksgiving. All right, take care.